Reputed mob boss Joey Merlino has made more recent comments about his uncle, Lawrence Yogi Merlino. In the recent episode, number 47 specifically, Joey Merlino and his co-host Little Snuff arrived in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Joey Merlino and his co-host have visited Scarf Inc., which is on 28th North Georgia Avenue, the residence next to Nicky Scarfo's place, because also Joey Merlino himself had lived there on the upper floor with his uncle, Lawrence Yogi Merlino. Reputed mob boss Skinny Joey Merlino has made it known publicly that he had a falling out relationship with his uncle Lawrence.
Live from Eddie Jacobs' office. We're in the heart of Atlantic City.
We're at 28 North Georgia. Here's where I used to live with my fucking rat uncle.
Right up there, right, Joe?
Yeah, the third floor. Here was the office.
Scarf Inc. right here?
And that. My uncle had the rebar. They had Scarf Inc.
Okay.
Here was the yard. Nicky used to throw 1976, a hell of a barbecue.
Really?
My father cooked, pig, everything. Packed, 100 people.
Really?
Nicky threw a good party. No, it was nice there.
I used to live in this house. Yeah. It's a lot of history down here, and we're going to undercover a lot of things. What was over here, Joe?
Nicky's house right here, Georgia Avenue. I used to live right here. This was Scarf Inc. I used to live right up here.
That was your bedroom up here?
Yeah, third floor. With Lawrence, that motherfucker. He should die.
He
is dead. He is dead. This was the office right here, Scarf Inc.
Everybody comes here, they take pictures, they go look at it.
I can't believe you know how old these buildings are?
How old were you when you were living here, Joe?
So I got done ratting. I moved down here. I lived in there with Nicky.
He's dedicated on episode 14 on his podcast, Merlino's rat uncle. He doesn't even acknowledge his uncle's name. He just specifically calls him a rat. Merlino has started his podcast with Little Snuff since last year in the year of 2023, where he loves to talk about sports, gambling, and the history with Cosa Nostra, or mob informants, better known as rats in Joey Merlino's case. He's made it publicly known that if you cooperate with law enforcement, you are a rat. Regardless if you put anybody in prison or not, he's made publicly known that he has disdain for Sammy the Bull Gravano, Michael Franzese, and much more other mobsters who have cooperated with the government. And he also has made claims before that he makes no exceptions whatsoever. For instance, when it came to his feud with Michael Franzese, Sammy the Bull and Michael Franzese both welcomed Joey Merlino on the YouTube podcast once it got started. However, Merlino did not reciprocate that same feeling. He has announced them both publicly, and we made videos about Merlino's comments against Franzese and Sammy the Bull Gravano, and which you could check out in our previous videos. However, many people felt Joey Merlino had crossed the line when he made comments about Michael Franzese's father, Sonny Franzese, calling Sonny Franzese a rat because Sonny Franzese had accepted Michael Franzese despite him cooperating with the government. And Merlino feels when it comes to any type of mob informants, if you cooperate with the government, you should be outcasted from the family and never have any form of communication. And since Franzese has reconciled with his family, therefore Merlino has a problem with it, and he has not apologized or has never been convinced from the general public that he should recant his statement. He stands by his statement by calling Sonny Franzese a rat along with Michael Franzese. And the reason why he also emphasized why he's going to keep insisting calling the Franzese family a rat is because he himself has also denounced his family member, which is Lawrence Yogi Merlino, which brings us to this topic.
And this is what everybody's been waiting for.
Yes.
You know, and I want to go over a little about this. Lee Cole had a poll, certain things that you said about family members that you didn't say anything wrong. So how do you feel about that?
Well, he had a poll. 60-some% said I was wrong for talking about Sonny Franzese.
Yeah.
And his jerk-old son had I think he put a show up too. I didn't say it.
Yeah, he did. They all put up
shows. I
shows.
couldn't shine his father's shoes.
Yeah.
Your father's a rat just like you. First of all, let me explain something to you. Your father knew you were a rat, and he hung with you. You picked him up from jail. They hung up on me. They never talked to me again. So I guess they were talking to him. They said they weren't. But that's what you do. You disown them. You don't condone it. You condone it, you're just as bad as them.
Yeah, we don't care about the polls, who talks about us, who this, yeah.
The 63%, they're all probably rats too.
Yeah,
so I ain't even worried about them.
For those who are not aware, Lawrence Yogi Merlino was the brother of Joey Merlino's father, Salvatore Chucky Merlino, who was the underboss under the Nicky Scarfo regime. Lawrence Merlino also worked with Nicky Scarfo before Nicky Scarfo became the boss. During the late 1970s, Vincent Falcone, a cement contractor, had a falling out with Nicky Scarfo, Philip Leonetti. Philip Leonetti had confessed after him, Nicky Scarfo, and Merlino were eventually acquitted of Vincent Falcone's murder. They had set up Vincent Falcone up in December of 1979. The reason being is because Vincent Falcone had made comments about Philip Leonetti and Scarfo about their cement work, and therefore the consequences had made him a mark for death. In a shore house along the shore of New Jersey, Vincent Falcone was invited along with Merlino, Scarfo, and Leonetti to have a couple of drinks. Little did Falcone know this would be a setup for his demise. When Philip Leonetti asked Vincent Falcone to get some ice, Falcone did walk up to the refrigerator, and then Philip Leonetti shot him at point-blank range in the back of the head. The flash from the muzzle had hit Lawrence Merlino's eyebrows. Therefore, Leonetti, Scarfo, and Merlino had to help get rid of the body. And also, the person who also witnessed the shooting was a plumber, Joe Salerno, since he was not a made member. It was to help recruit his buttons. Joe Salerno eventually had turned on Leonetti, Scarfo, and Merlino, and therefore all three parties were charged with murder. However, the next following year, they were acquitted. Meanwhile, during this time, Merlino had not cooperated with the government at that time. This would actually earn him the ranks, along with his older brother, Chucky Merlino, who was Nicky Scarfo's best friend, and many others, to eventually earn their button, join Omerta, and become official made members in the Philadelphia crime family. Lawrence Merlino and Philip Leonetti will also bond, and their friendship will blossom into them doing more recruits, killing, extortion, and racketeering. However, as the Philadelphia mob was also rising, so did their criminal charges and allegations. Eventually, in the late 1980s, Nicky Scarfo and all his underlings, which included Lawrence Merlino, were charged with racketeering, murder, and much more, which gave them all many years imprisonment, including life sentence terms. Unbeknownst to Scarfo at the time, his own nephew, Philip Leonetti, decided to flip and cooperated with law enforcement, and so did other Scarfo crime family members such as Nick the Crow Caramandi, Tommy Giorno, and Lawrence Merlino. Lawrence Merlino at the time will also cooperate with the government, and therefore he's earned the moniker a rat to many of his peers, and therefore this also rubbed Joey Merlino the wrong way. His father, Salvatore Chucky Merlino, along with his friend Nicky Scarfo, would serve their life sentence term. Chucky Merlino would eventually die in prison, while Lawrence Merlino would outlive the imprisonment and live the rest of his life being separated from his family, knowing that he was disowned by his nephew and some of his own family members, in which we will discuss in another video. Lawrence Merlino will eventually die in the year of 2001. In the aftermath of his demise, Joe Merlino has made it public about how much disdain he has had for his uncle since he has cooperated and did not serve the life sentence in which Chucky Merlino had did. That is just to summarize our life story on Lawrence Merlino. We will cover a full biography story on him eventually, but we just want to give you a full context to why Lawrence Merlino and Joy Merlino may have had some sort of friction during Lawrence's lifetime. There is no audio of Lawrence Merlino that we have in our video. However, we will go over some of the documentation history and let you hear from Joy Merlino himself to why he has problems and complications with his uncle. Thank you.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel and check out more of our content. Feel free to give your feedback and suggestions on what we should do next in the comments. This is Infinite Lee Productions. We love ya.